What's up, everybody? This is PT Bratton, and welcome to the Clean AF Comedy Show. While the crew is on break this week, we want to share with you some content from a private stand-up show that we did last month to keep you laughing this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I wasn't worried about messing up my name because clearly, if you look at me like this, you can see that I am Isaac from the Love Boat. You can see it. You can see it. You don't. All right. Some of you aren't buying that. Now, if you look at me from the right, I am clearly Leon Phelps from the Ladies' Man. It's just the Cavassier. They said it was a clean show. I didn't want to bring anything unnecessarily, so I didn't bring that with me. Now, if you're still not buying it, I'm gonna look you dead in the eye. And let me tell you something. I am a grown version of Huey from the Boondocks. You're not gonna treat me like I ain't nobody. If you're looking, I'm not sure what platform you're using, and one of the things you may be thinking right now is, how did he get a filter for a mustache and an afro? What filter is that? And it fits so well. No, this is real for real afro. Grown back in the 1970s, coming with me all the way to 2020. It's been here. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I forget I have an afro. It happens. I'm just saying. A few weeks ago, I was in Costco's, walking, and had the mask on and everything, and I was passing by a lady coming the other way, and she saw me, and she gave me the cool man nod. You know the cool man nod. And then to top it all off, she gave me the right on, brother. And I was like, man, that is the wokest white woman I have ever seen. That is, clearly her name is not Karen.
It's a big night. This is a big night for a lot of reasons. First of all, the Nats are opening. Tonight's the opening game of the Nats. Woo! Yes, it's weird though. It's very strange. They're playing to empty stadiums. It's odd. I mean, Baltimore people are used to that, but not It's cool. It's cool. This is a big night for me as well. Tomorrow is my 22nd wedding anniversary. Yeah, 22 years, man. In a row. I think that's an important part of the stat, the in a row piece. Because we all have that one relative that's like, I got you by like 10 years. It may be true, Aunt Becky, but you got to divide by 5. So your math may be a little off. No, it is. I did learn this last week. I figured out that for almost a year on stage, I've been saying that we've already been married for 22 years. That was good. I walked up to my wife. I was like, hey, can you believe it's going to be 23 years? She's like, we got married in 1998. And you are bad at math. Here's what I did learn. I learned that it's not okay in that moment to be like, it feels like longer. It's not a good answer at all.
It's like TV. I won't be before you long because I don't have a girdle on and I just can't let this stuff hang for too much longer. And then since I'm doing this fast, everything is irritating me. Like my husband breathing. I literally look at him and be like, why? Why do you need to breathe? Like, is there another way you can figure out how to breathe? Like, seriously. Of course, he just rolls his eyes. Of course, he just rolls his eyes and just like, you need to eat some sugar. No, you need to stop breathing. Call your mother. Call her and tell her to come get you. Right now, because I can't take it. And then, you buy your own snacks. This happened today, and this is true life. And I almost didn't make it tonight because, one, I thought maybe if I just kill him and I can just eat right into prison. If I just kill him. I was seriously weighing the option. I was just like, I bought my snacks, I prepare my meals. I went to make a salad before I came here, and I went to get my nuts and berries and truly commit myself to this. And I go to the refrigerator, and there's no nuts or berries. So of course I'm like, these kids, I'm gonna kill them. So I was like, wait. So I yelled, Tier, that's my husband's name. Tier, did you eat my nuts? He was like, what? They weren't for everybody? So, you know, I plotted. I thought if I go upstairs, well, I shouldn't say plot because I don't know who's watching this. I had a suggestion within myself. If I go upstairs with this butcher knife and accidentally trip on the bed, I wonder how well that would hold up in court. But, you know, it seemed too plain because the knife would be too short. I need something that's going to be like, let me stop.
There's a lot of things that we're missing now during this COVID-19 season. And one of the things I'm missing is cookout. You see, all right, y'all. I got some you know what I mean? Like this whole rad thing would have been 10 times better if we could have just had a cookout. Not a barbecue. I want to be clear. A cookout. See, the difference between a barbecue and a cookout, I think, is when it starts, okay? So, like a barbecue, if you go into a barbecue and they say it starts at 4, it's going to start at 4. But if you're going to a cookout that they say starts at 4, don't show up at 4 unless you're ready to help out, okay? Because I'm just telling you, what's going to happen is if you show up at 4, the meat ain't going to be thawed, the grill ain't going to be on, and they're gonna ask you to go get ice. That's what's gonna happen at a cookout. I'm just trying to show up about 4:30, 6:30 if you're nasty. I mean, I get in my feelings. I used to get in my feelings, but now I miss it. That you go to the cookout, you're there on time. I'm rarely on time. So if I'm on time, I'm mad because I'm on time and the food ain't ready. Like at least make it smell like something's cooking in the house. Now I'm not, Emerald by any stretch of the imagination. I'm more like Chef Boyardee, but I know that even if you cut up some onions and put it in a pot, it's going to smell like something going on up in that house. You know what I'm saying? So I'm upset because I walk in the house at 4. You said it started at 4, but ain't nothing going on. It's 4 o'clock. Ain't nothing going on. Here you come down the steps. You got slippers on your feet. You got rollers in your hair. You ain't took your shower yet. Now we got an issue. I'm in my feelings. And then because I feel like it's the right thing to do to see if you need some help, because obviously you need some help because you ain't ready to go at 4 o'clock. I ask you if you need some help, and then you say, child, yes, over in that corner is a sack of potatoes. I'm like, hold tight. What is this sack of potatoes going to be? Because ain't nothing instant about a sack of potatoes. You know what I'm talking about? If this is going to be potato salad, we got a problem,
2020, full of disasters, just full of it all, right? These challenges and disasters. We started the year off with disasters, right? Started the year off, and Australia was on fire. That is a disaster. And then we have this COVID-19. Everything from the disease to the handling of it is a disaster. The movie Cats.
Yeah.
That was a disaster that I don't feel like people really, they forgot about. They're not talking about it. And then while I was down already, 2020 kept on kicking. It gave me 2 words: Tiger King. I'm not going to ask you if you saw it, but I know you saw it. Some of you saw it. Some of you still watching over and over again. Come on now. Did you not see the previews? I saw the previews because I wasn't watching the whole thing. Let's be clear. A man married 3 men while doing meth, living in a trailer park. What kind of Jerry Springer shenanigans is going on here? Don't make the least bit of sense. And I'll tell you what really got to me, because I started to notice some things about American society that I didn't like. Here's the thing that got me. Y'all remember Michael Jackson? Y'all remember Michael Jackson, ABC Michael Jackson. You remember the time Michael Jackson, all the versions of Michael Jackson. Y'all remember Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson bought a tiger, and they called him eccentric. Well, they called him eccentric for a lot of other reasons. But one of the things he did is he bought a tiger, you called him eccentric. Mike Tyson bought a tiger. Y'all called him crazy. Well, actually, you mumbled it real low like this, so you won't hear it. But you called it to him. I know you did. Joe Exotic, the Tiger King, gets about 20 tigers, and y'all can't stop watching them over and over again. America, your bias is clear. Men with the name of Michael should be able to buy more than one tiger if they want.
It was a weird year for comedy, man. It was a strange year. I did a couple shows at a prison.
Yeah.
That was fun. Actually, I was actually excited about that one because growing up, my entire family was in the prison system. It's cool. I mean, they were guards. It was fun. They were, man. My whole family's a guard, man. My dad was a guard. My brother's a guard. My uncle, my grandfather, my cousin / brother-in-law. It's a small town. It is a small town. It's just weird. Just things are strange when you're in a prison family. Like there's things that happen that you just like that in normal families you take for granted. Like you ever hide things in your room? No, not me. You come home from school, all your stuff's in the hallway. They have tossed your stuff. Like, why did you have to cut up my mattress? You bought that. Oh man. Now the other one, like, you ever do this when you were a kid? You ever just get mad at your parents, run into your room, slam the door, like, I'm not coming out. My dad would call his friends. I figured out, I learned that you were good until you heard the word extraction. It was over at that point.
So now that we're doing this social distancing, there's a couple of rules. Since I learned from last time, I've got some rules. The first rule is everybody's up at 8:30. I got that from Dewayne. 8:30 you get up. I'm not getting up at 8:30. So you need to get up at 8:30. Get yourself together. Wash your face. I got boys, so you got to make sure they get everywhere. A little hot soap and water. Get yourself together. Eat your breakfast. And then when I'm ready to come down, be prepared to learn. I don't know who's going to teach you, but be prepared to learn. And then secondly, here's the other thing. You eat whatever time you would have eaten in school. It's none of this eating all day. Not at all. You turn your stomach off. Whatever you need to do. Turn your stomach off. Because if you ate at 10:45 in the morning at school, you eat at 10:45 here. You leave school at 2:50. After 2:50, don't come looking at me for a minute. We got plenty of Eggos and pizza pockets for dinner. If I got to be a teacher, I'm done at 2:50.
Listen, but I tell you one thing I'm not missing, Dewayne. I'm not missing church. Now, I know some of y'all be like, you heathen. No. Yeah, right. He said, why I call Dewayne now? Because, come on. One of these is not like the other. I mean, y'all can see, as we did the lineup, Nikki, Nick, and I, we're all from Maryland, and Dewayne is from Virginia. So, anyway, no, but I'm not missing church. But at the same time, Dewayne, I had this revelation that the plagues that we're experiencing in 2020 may be because there's sin in the camp. Now, I just want to get preachers for a moment. I don't know who done sinned, okay? But you need to get it right with God, because I'm tired of this mess. We are in July, and what plague is next, okay? We have murder hornets. We got Kanye running for president. I'm like, what's next?
Entanglement is the way to go. So that's what she did. Got on the red table. Will was over there. She said, I got in an entanglement. And I know Jada is smart, but I was like, I don't think she used that word right. So then I was like, okay, let me go look it up. So I went to my trusted source on the internet and looked up the word entanglement. One of the definitions of entanglement is a messy relationship on the side. I did not know that Wikipedia could be updated so quickly. One of the things I heard about, I don't know if you guys heard about it, I don't know if you all heard about it, but they have an open marriage. I've been married 16 years. I didn't know there was an open marriage option. Like, that's not the one I want. Clearly there's some trouble. Let me make sure, because this might be recorded. I'm married. I need to make sure that all that is in there, that's not what I want. But I didn't know it was an option. And I found an article that said there's 19 different types of marriage. Now, I'm not going to go into all 19. There's a lot, but there's a few that just really caught my eye. Like, there's the love marriage. And that made sense, right? Because I love my wife. She loves the fact that I'm a man with a job with benefits. There's love all in our relationship. There's love. There's a secret marriage. Have you heard of it? They're doing good, aren't they? See how that works? And then there's what's called a zombie marriage. Zombie. So marriage is supposed to be until death do you part, but if you're a zombie, you never part. I tell you what, if you better pick right. Choose wrong, choose long.
The thing with growing up in a prison family, it's made me, I love prison documentaries. Like, I am addicted to prison documentaries. The last one I just finished up, I binge watched it, was 60 Days In. Oh man, this show is amazing. It's so cool. They take people that have zero criminal record and they put them in jail for 60 days undercover to get information for the sheriff. Yeah. And at first, I'm like you. I'm like, dude, why would anyone do that? Some of these people have families and wives. So I get why they do it, but like other people, these people, they have what's that word? Hope. Still, they have that. I don't understand it. Like, here's the thing. Like, I know after watching the show, I would not do well in prison. Like, I was in the military. I did like 23 years in the Army, and I could never do prison. But you know who does well? Marines. They do so good in prison. It's insane. There was one guy on there. His name was Nathan. I think it was like season 5. Nathan did so well in prison. His 60 days were up. He thought he was getting out. They asked him to do another 60. Yeah. There's only one answer for that, and I can't say it on this show. He was engaged, so like they brought his fiance in and they had a quick conversation, and he agreed to do it. Right? At first, I'm like, this dude's a moron. Then I thought about it. He's a genius. He just got out of all the wedding planning. Like, yeah, man, I might get shanked, but at least I'm not going to argue over some brushed nickel napkin holders. That's fine.
I don't know if I said, did I say I had 5 boys with 5 different personalities? Again, Cash App will be in the subject. And there are 5 different personalities. Like, my 7-year-old, he is the snitch. I mean, there's no other word for it. He'll tell me everything that's going on in the house. And the funny part is, now he's getting older. He's 7 now. Now that he's getting older, they try to buy him off with cookies and ice cream and stuff like that. But I let him know, I'm the one who feeds you real food, and I'll take that nightlight out your room and let the boogeyman hit you. So I still got a little time. Then I have, he's 13, and he's a loan shark, and I'm not playing. He's a loan shark. My 22-year-old asked me to drop him off somewhere. The 13-year-old went with us. My 22-year-old named Derek, he went to go buy some food in the Dash-In. He came back out, didn't buy anything. My son, who was 13, slammed his hands on his lap. He was like, bro, I know you didn't go on that Dash-In buying groceries knowing you still owe me money. And so my oldest, who's 22, was scared. He was like, oh, I told you not to let him come. How was I supposed to know you owe him $4? He wanted his money. He will be at his door tomorrow morning knocking like this. Where my money? Where my money? We were crossing the street one day in the neighborhood, and this man, I swear it was a cracker, but this man crossed the street. He was like, what up, Drew? And Drew was like, what's up? You got my money? Who is this man? And why does he owe you money, Drew? What are you really doing on this computer while you're on your room? I mean, I think he has a drug ring or illegal gambling. He is doing something. Where are you getting this money? Because you don't have a job.
I'm a pastor, but I'm not perfect, so y'all pray for me. Pray for me. The comedy is probably why I'm not a pastor right now, because the church folk really, they want you to be a little more serious with stuff. Let me give you an example. One Sunday, I had a member come up to me and say, Pastor, I need your help. I said, what's up? She said, well, I'm on a fixed income. I said, stop right there, lift your hands and tell them thank you. She said, why? I said, well, apparently your income was broken, but Jesus fixed it. What are we doing? She didn't think that was funny.
Oh yeah, I'm married. I have kids. I do. I have kids. I have yeah. My kids are. I'm trying to think. What's the right way to describe? They're stupid. I think that's the way. I think no, like individually they're smart. Individually they're awesome. It's like when you get them in a group. That's the problem. Like my son and his best friend last week stood in our front yard and argued for 15 minutes about whether or not it was raining. Dude, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. And if you're like, oh, that's so cute. No, it's not. He is a sophomore in college.
Oh.
Yeah. That's awesome. I try to be a good dad, man. I do. I try. I try to be a good dad. I read all these parenting books. They're pretty cool. Actually, that's not true. I hate the parenting books. I read them, but I hate them. They're so stupid. They're so dumb. Just the titles alone. The titles are so stupid. It's like the anger-free home. You know, stop yelling and start connecting. Shut up. Like, I don't need that. What? Like, why do they even have parenting books? They don't need parenting books. I've been a kid. I don't need a book on that. Write books for them. They've never been a parent. You know? Then you can do real titles like, you know, Mommy would love you if your room was clean.
Then I have a 16-year-old. I need y'all to stretch your hands to pray for him, because if he would just use his power for good and not evil, he could be a president and not a drug cartel dealer running the city of D.C. Let me give you some advice. My car got stolen a couple of months ago. And so I was, me and my husband were talking about what we were going to do. And so I was like, I don't want another car payment. I think it was good that they stole it. They won't get fired. They're probably going to bring it back with another $20, talking about, sorry, we messed up your time, but whatever. So I'm like, so Devin, that's his name, he came upstairs. He was like, what happened to the car? And I said, it got stolen. He was like, it was a Dodge, right? I was like, yeah. Listen, I can have you another one in 15 minutes if you really need it. What are these kids doing? Like, these are my kids. Like, I raised them, but I don't know them. Then I played this Facebook joke. You guys remember that Facebook joke where you text your kid and tell them if the police call you to say that I was with you? That's the wrong child to play that with. Because this was, I text them, Devin, if the police call you, tell them I was with you. First of all, Mom, why are you getting the phone number to the police? Why is that an issue? Why are you not? He's like, never give my phone number anyway. I said, okay, but if they call, you got my back, right? He's like, family over everything, Mom. I got you. I was like, all right. So I'm thinking that's the end of the prank. No. He emails me back. Stop texting from this number. Take your SIM card out. I got another SIM card down in the basement that you can switch it. And they don't know wherever you pick. Help me understand why he knows this. Why? This is what I deal with. And they want me to do some distance learning. I need to sit down and take a class with them. But I did say, you want to take care of me when I retire, right? Mm-hmm. He said I couldn't live with him, but he'll buy me a house. So.
I said something about my wife, and Dewayne was saying that, anniversary coming up for you guys. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Our anniversary is actually today. Woo! Yes. Thank you very much. And we spent our anniversary serving you guys, so you're welcome. We are celebrating 16 years of marriage. Yes, 16 years of marriage, and 5 of them were happy. So we're. I'll play. I love my wife. I do. She is the apple of my eye. She is the wind beneath my wings. She's my first, my last, my everything. She's the butter on my biscuits. She's the sugar in my sweet tea. She's my homie. She's my lover. She's my friend. She's the ham to my burger. She's the peanut butter to my jelly. She's the babe, what was the other thing you told me to say about you? I just want to make sure I get it right. I don't want any trouble when I get upstairs. I'm just saying. I'm not saying she's violent, but she got violent tendencies. You know what I'm talking type of woman sleeping for fist ball. You know what I'm saying? Come on, yo.
I go to my wife because I still didn't find the answer I was looking for. So I said, "Hey, baby, what do you think about open marriage?" She looked at me. And she was like, "Hey, you been out there getting jiggy with it? It's supposed to be just the two of us. If you don't get it right, it's gonna be like the Wild Wild West up in here." So now I'm down here visiting my friend at the apartments. You know, I'm just saying,
I try to be a good dad, man. I don't even, those books, honestly, they should be in like the fiction section. They should be, because I have an easier time remembering or believing in Harry Potter than I do that some kid sitting in a corner thinking about what he's done is going to fix things. I just don't believe it. I think I'm going to write a parenting book. I think I should. Because I would be honest, like I would talk about real parenting things, like the tension you feel in parenting. There's so much tension, like sporting events. Like from one side, like I really, really want them to win so they feel what it's like to be successful and to boost their self-esteem. You know, but on the other side, I want them to lose so I can go home. Right? It's like there's an angel and devil on my shoulder. Like the angel's like, oh, it's gonna crush him if he loses in the first round. The devil's like, but if he loses in the first round, we are going to crush your Netflix queue this weekend. It's so good.
So then I have 14. I don't even know how old these kids are, to tell you. He going to the 10th grade. That's all I know. He's my football star. I can't wait for him to go to the draft because everybody's like, he's going to the draft. He's going to the draft. I was like, I'm going to be your date. He was like, you ain't going to be there? That's rude, right? Like, I want to ship them off somewhere and ask, I should have called because Tia is my second marriage, so he's their stepfather. However, I want to call his real father to come get him, but I'm still waiting on $2,500 for child support. Yeah, I put him out there. I need evidence for when I go to court. But I'm just like, come on now, I gotta be your date. He was like, Mom, I'm gonna have a nice, fine woman with me. So I was just like, he is handsome. I was just wondering how good he is with dating until I heard him try to pick up a girl. This is exactly. Excuse me, ma'am. You want my phone number? I knew I'd be his date for the I knew I'd be his date for the day. I don't have nothing to worry about. Nothing at all.
Yeah, so when we got married early on, she said she wanted to take a road trip, cross-country road trip in an RV. And I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. I don't want to be in an RV with my family. I just don't want to do it. And what had happened was she tricked me. I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, ran astray, run amok. No, she got me in the minivan. We were supposed to be taking a car, simple trip, take a car, drop it off for my stepmom, and then come right back. That was it. Somehow, now my stepmom, mind you, is in Louisiana. Somehow we wound up in Houston, Texas. Now y'all tell me how Houston is in between Maryland and Louisiana. I mean, she got me on that road, and once she got me on the road, she was just, hey, well, why are we over here? And we got in Texas. She's like, well, we this far, we might as well go on to California. I said, no, you're trying to get me. I ain't gonna do it. There's no good outcome of a road trip with your family. Like Nikki talked about it. Y'all were listening, right? Like, if you get frustrated with them in a house, what do you think will happen with them in a vehicle? Like, just you and them. Like, I mean, the only thing you can do, I got two boys. I got two because I don't want three. No, I mean, I'm just saying, when you got two, you can play man to man. When you got three, you got to play zone. Now, I don't really know how to play zone, but I mean, we got kids, so on the road trip, kids, that's a challenge, man. You got to have electronics for them. You got to have night juice. You got to have all these things. Don't act like y'all know what night juice is. You want to go night? I mean, the trip was, it just was a trip that never ended. And I'm so glad to be alive. I mean, I served 10 years in the military, and I just, I never feared for my life as much as I did in the military as I did on that trip. Because I just know that either they was going to lose their life or I was going to lose my life. It was one of those things. It was like the Hunger Games. Like, somebody ain't coming back. Like, I don't know who it's going to be, but,
August is coming up. It's baby girl's birthday. My baby girl, the youngest baby girl, she looks just like me, without a mustache. There's no mustache. Also, there's no Adam's apple. She's actually cute. She probably gets that from her mama. Thank God for mama. And so she had a birthday, and last year, and she's like, what do I want? She had her list, because kids always have a list, and one of the things on there was a Barbie doll. I was like, cool, I'm gonna knock this out the park. So I don't get one, I get two. I order through Amazon, and they show up, and here they are, 2 dolls. I don't get just any 2 dolls. I get a black Barbie doll and a black Ken doll. And so she opens up the first package, and it's the Barbie doll, and she's like, oh, look, Daddy. I love it. I love it so much, I'm gonna name it after me. I am working this daddy game, that's right. You know, she opens up the other one, and it's the black Ken doll, and she loves it. She's like, oh, look, I've never had a black Ken doll. This is awesome. And I was like, oh, because I looked at Ken, I realized Ken is smaller than a motorcycle. Like regular Ken is fit, but black Ken is thicker than a mug. Like prison swole. Like, what are you doing? Is there a gym, like a prison Barbie or something like that? And you can what? But that's okay. I don't worry about it because I know what she's gonna name this dog. So I asked her, I said, baby, what you gonna name the black Ken dog? But I already know. I'm daddy. I'm her hero. She loves me. This is about to be a little version of me. So she looks at him, and then looks at me, and then looks at him, then looks at me. She looks back down at him. I'm gonna name him Tyrone. Who in a holy ham sandwich is Tyrone? Well, that's just nobody. It's just he doesn't look anything like you. I don't know if you've ever been punked by an 8-year-old little girl, but that's just what happened to me. Because I mean, there's some things I can't take, right? Like when someone looked at me and said, "You look like Eddie Murphy," really? When he played Norbit. Yeah. And I let that go. I let that go. But when your baby girl tell you that you feel some sort of way, I gotta handle it. I can't let this doll be disrespectful in my house. Right. So if you happen to be near Andrews Air Force Base, there's a little thrift store. And if you go in there, you can buy your very own Tyrone doll for $2.
I'll leave you with one bit of parenting advice that I learned a while back. And this is really for minivan people. I'm sure there's a lot of minivan people watching this. But if you don't have a minivan, you can put this in your pocket for later. But everybody ends up with a minivan. It's just the way it goes. It's the white flag of vehicles. It's cool. I've had people literally call me and be like, "Dude, come downstairs and look at my new car. Come downstairs and check out my new motorcycle." I've never had them do that about a minivan. It's more like a wake. He was like, "Sorry, bro." It was time. You knew what was happening. You knew what was coming. You're in a better place now. You're in a better place. Nobody wants one. That's why you trade it as soon as Junior can open the door. But here's my advice. It's like the kids always want to act up when they're in the minivan or they're in the car, right? And they're always just acting up in there. You want to choke them. You do. You can't do that. Mostly because they're out of reach. They're just too far back, They are. But I had a friend of mine tell me this one time. He was a pastor and a counselor. He said, Dewayne, he saw I was having trouble. He said, Dewayne, here's what you need to do. He said, step one, take a breath. Okay. Step 2, pray. God, help me not kill these kids. Oh, gosh. Please help me not. I won't be good in jail. I'm not a Marine. I can't do it. I can't. He said the third step's the most important one. He said, you look in that rearview mirror, you look your kid in the eye. You gently, lovingly tap the brakes. And that'll put their little throat right in your hand, and you can just choke it and get away with it. Right? You can take that with you and use it. Guys, my name is Dewayne White. It has been an absolute blast. Thanks a lot for having us out.
This is the same child when we were doing the distance learning last year. I was like, you need to do this work and you need to turn it in online. You got to scan it and turn it in. So he hands me the paper. It was a complete blank sheet of paper. Only he didn't answer that one question. I said, Dylan, you didn't answer any questions on the paper. I wrote it in invisible ink.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He said it so smoothly, I believed him for like 2 seconds. I was like, oh, you're right. Wait, turn that paper in. So, I got to deal with these kids. I don't even want to talk about the 22-year-old because let's just say he's still in my basement. I love him, but if somebody want to come get him, I sell him to you. Cheap. Because they all eat groceries. Like, I should own a grocery store just to get by. I'm playing my life around that. But they don't. So if you want to help a sister out, again, ask PT for my Cash App. You can follow me on funnygirlproductions.com. On Facebook, listen, Messenger takes money now. You can pay for Messenger. Be on Clean AF every Friday. I'm so serious. Listen, if you need to get in contact with me, I got a Google phone number. Look on Cash. I need help, is what I'm saying. It don't even have to be a monetary gift. If you want to just come over and sit with them for like 15, 20 minutes, so I can sit in my car in silence and not feel guilty, like anything. I need help. Instead of Jerry's kids, think about Nikkie's kids. Because I need help. Not just with the kids, but with the husband too. Now, I don't need you to do anything extra. But if you just come over there and talk video games and Marvel Comics with him for like 20 minutes, just so I can sit back and breathe, that'll be helpful. Thank you. I'm Nikkie Knowles. Send help.
I love my kids. I do. My oldest kid, he's here laughing behind the camera. The youngest one is asking me to download the app for his phone in the middle of the comedy show. He's like, "Yeah, Daddy, let me talk to you right quick." I'm like, "I'm doing something." I love them. I do, especially when they're sleeping. They're a gift from God, absolute gift from God. But sometimes when God gives a gift, He wraps it in a hurry. You know what I'm talking about? Like, not quite. You like, God, is this done? I mean, I can give it back to you for. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my kids are great. They are. But after we had that second son, we had to shut that chocolate factory down. You know what I'm saying? Shut it down. Shut it down. I mean, he's off the chain. He's about to come around here. I hope he does not come on the camera because we're gonna have to fight. He's not gonna fight. No, he's great. He's great. He's just so smart that you never know what he's going to say. And sometimes that gives me pause because when you're in public, we have, as adults, we have some social cues, right? So if you see somebody who's overweight, you know not to look at them, you know not to point, you know not to say, "Daddy, Daddy," so, you know not to walk up to people that have a belly and say, "What do you do?" You know the social cues,
So Kanye jumping into the presidential bid, right?
Yeah.
And then jump back out. And then jump back in. Now is he gonna shake it all about? Is this the whole Is this how that works?
You fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again.
Remember when that seemed stupid?
Right.
I just want to know. I just want to know what it's like behind the scenes before a press conference. Like, all right, you're gonna go in, you're gonna say this, then you're gonna go in and say this, you're gonna go in, and then he's like, LeBron Jenkins. I don't know.
This is the foolishness you get on Friday.
Every Friday at 6 p.m.
That's right.
Eastern time.
Well, we're taking a break, right? We're on a break. So,
not an entanglement. It is just a regular break.
Listen,
You get entangled if you're on break. Is that?
that's how rumors get started.
well, I heard that Dewayne was seeing other comics. I know we already talked about entanglement, but isn't Will from West Philly?
That is
Born and
right.
raised. On the playground.
Oh my God.
Why am I rapping? What is that about? But I did learn that our pool, which is closed, doesn't have cameras on it. So I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
There may be a late night break-in.
I can bring that.
No, I don't.